There's a woman who she went to the office at 7 a.m. and she died in her office chair in her cubicle. And no one noticed that she was dead. No one noticed that she was dead. Her body sat at the desk for 4 days until someone found her. She was on an open floor of cubicles, and coworkers just assumed the smell was a plumbing problem. So it wasn't like she was closed off in an office. It was open. So people are walking by her cubicle and seeing her like slouched on the desk, on the table. And they're like, oh, I guess she's just taking a nap. She must be sleepy, sleepyhead. By the way, I'll need those reports by close of business, Sally. Make sure you get those to me. Check your email. I'm going to ping you. Let's circle back, by end of week, please. They're just talking to her. There's no response. Like, oh, I guess she's really, thinking deeply at her desk. Sorry, I'm morbid. Like, this is kind of my morbid humor, dark humor. But, it's sad. It is sad. Like, that's the way that you go. And imagine, like, no one noticed that she was missing. Like, there's no family members to call the place of work. This is Wells Fargo, okay? This is a bank. All right, this is a nice corporate job. Maybe she was like a C-level executive, and there's no family to call. Oh, have you seen Sally? She didn't come home. She's been gone for 2 days, 3 days. Did she come into work? No one even is there to ask about her. The only way that they knew that she was dead is because, oh, that's not the plumbing. That's the corpse, literally 10 feet away from me, that I didn't notice was a corpse for 4 days. I guess she didn't think of that. Actually, I don't even know. Maybe this was a Muslim woman. Who knows? Maybe she was like Selma, or maybe she was like a, what's the word? Yasmin. She could have been Muslim at Wells Fargo, really climbing the corporate ladder. Getting that nice position. Wells Fargo, you got your own cubicle. Don't put in on your cubicle. You can decorate it, make it look real nice with flowers. And instead of like decorating your home and having a husband there at home and making your house cozy and beautiful, decorating it, you decorate your cubicle, right? And all of your social interactions, it's not with your husband and your children that you're raising, people that love you, people that care about you. It's these coworkers that don't even notice that you're dead. That's who you dedicated your life to, basically. They don't even notice that you're dead. Your corpse is there, and they can't even bother to check on you. Are you alive? Like, oh, it's 5 p.m. Gotta go home. Oh, I guess Selma or Yasmin at the desk. She's hard at work. Well, she napped throughout the whole day, so she's behind. She has to stay late, I guess. Well, bye. Like, how about these hijabis and these imams, instead of talking about, oh, what if your husband dies? Instead, tell these Muslim women that, what if you die at your cubicle, like this woman at Wells Fargo? What if maybe that's what your education is going to get you? Are you going to include that in your calculation, your cost-benefit analysis? No, you don't think of those possibilities. You only regurgitate the script that has been implanted because you're a bot. You're an NPC. You haven't really thought rationally about this whole question of women's education. You just repeat the script.
Furthermore, let's say you get your wish and you marry a woman who has absolutely no experience with the outside world, with being in the workforce, with having a job. She is just fully primed to be a housewife from the moment that she leaves mandatory education.
Sounds good to me. That sounds great.
And then you die. What does she do? Oh, well, then you'd say Islamically, she should be looked after by her family, by her father, by her uncles, by her tribe. The key word...
Yeah, that sounds right. She gets to be looked after. Wonderful. What's the problem?
There is should. It's not always the case. We aren't living in the heyday of the Islamic empires where tribes and families were so close-knit that they would look after you. It's not always the case. We don't live in a...
Okay, yeah, it's not always the case. Okay, yeah. You should, as a woman getting an education, you should be able to have a nice, fulfilling career at Wells Fargo and climbing the corporate ladder, and you should be loved, and you should be able to live a normal life. Oh, but you died. You keeled over at your cubicle and no one noticed for 4 days. So when they want to criticize the Islamic ideal of gender roles, you have to think of like the worst case scenario, like, and make like the low IQ point that, well, things could go wrong. Yeah, no, duh. Of course, things can go wrong in any scenario, but they never think of the worst case possibility with their ideal model, which is a pure Western, determined, institutionalized model of women's advancement and education and career, etc.